Changing out a faulty diesel injector on a Jaguar X-Type 2 litre diesel, 2003 to 2009. This video is about the Delphi injectors fitted to the Jaguar X-Type, and mine's a 2007 vehicle. But these injectors were also fitted to other vehicles that Ford produced for the TDCI engine, both 2 litres and 2.2 litres. But there is slight differences, so you have to make sure you get the same one as what's come out. There's a number of serial numbers on the injectors themselves, and I'll show you later on in the video which ones you want to be paying particular attention to. You will have heard at the beginning of the video the car was hard to start. But that's only after I cleaned all the other injectors, as before that it didn't start at all. I'll leave a link at the end of the video and in the description on cleaning the injectors, and also a video on how to start it if it doesn't start at all. Anyway, after I cleaned the injectors, it did actually start. And these are the dashboard warning lights that I've got. When I put my diagnostic tool on, I've got an injector circuit open on cylinder 1, malfunction and fault, P0201. But if you haven't got an OBD tester, you can still test the injectors manually in a different way. With the engine running, you can take off the individual connector to the injector and listen to the engine. Each disconnection should correspond to a drop in revs per minute in the engine, as it causes that cylinder to not fire, so it should sound a little bit lumpy. Or even stall, as you can see in this case, as it's only running on 2 cylinders. Do this on each injector. And I found when I did it on the first injector, there was no difference in how it ran. So you can be pretty sure that there's something wrong with that particular cylinder. To identify the injector instead of the combustion chamber, if it was something like broken rings or a valve or a piston, you can test the resistance on the solenoid. When I tested the injectors 2, 3 and 4, I got a small reading on each of these injectors, roughly about the same. But when I tested the injector number 1, I got an open circuit, indicated by OL on the meter. I did initially, on a previous occasion, get a high reading, which also would indicate a fault, compared with the low readings on the remaining cylinders. So the first thing I want to do is take off the return leak-off pipes. There's a clip at the back of the injector that you can just get a screwdriver to. The rear of the clip is hinged around the back of the injector, and pop that off. Then take the foam soundproofing out. Then disconnect the connector by pincing in the 2 metal clips at the side. If it doesn't come off easy, it might need your screwdriver to help it a bit. And you want to make sure all the area is clean before you take the injector out. Then prise up the injector seal, which then just slides over the top of the injector. But first you need to disconnect the fuel supply coupling. Make sure you loosen off the other end. And then you can just take this off and rotate it round a little bit and then put some plastic cling film over the end with some elastic bands just to protect it from dirt getting in. Now we can take the seal off. And you want to be using a 21mm open-sided socket. Break loose the injector. And then take it out. You might find it comes loose and then tightens up, but no worries because it's just pulling up against the shoulder of the injector. Obviously don't force it, and you might find it's easier if you just warm the engine up first. If you can, that is. Take that out and have a look at the markings. The number in the middle is the part number or type number, which must be the same when you're ordering a new one. And the long alphanumeric number on the top is the injector code number, which is individual to the injector. And you need to remember which injector goes in which cylinder. And here's the new injector, which will have a different injector code number. So I'll need to make a note of that. What I'll do is I'll just take a photograph of it with my phone. I've already made a written copy of this earlier. So all I've got to do is put it in now. So I'll just take this end cap off the nozzle. I won't bother with the top one. It's got a new sealing washer on. Slot it into the head and don't touch the sides. Make sure it's seated correctly and then screw it into the head. And of course you've got to keep the front connector part facing you. So you need another thin spanner for that. And I've got a 13mm flat thin spanner. You just really need it when you're doing the final tightening. When it's in position, line it up squarely to the front and then tighten it home to the correct torque, which on these is 47 Newton meters, which I'll leave in the description. Put the sealing ring back on. It's a little bit tight next to all these cables at the back. Push that securely down. Refit the electrical connector, line it up and just push it home, it'll click into place. Fit the leak off connector and the fuel line and unions. When you put it all back together, just remember to nip up the fuel line unions. Make sure they're all secure. I'll just show you putting that leak off connector back on as quite a tight fit. I found a small little flat-bladed screwdriver and just push against the clip seemed to do the trick. When you push the clip into the injector, make sure the hinge bit loops round before you push it into the injector, and then your screwdriver want to put it into the little end bit of the clip on the hinge and then push forward on the two tabs at the front, and you'll find it'll just hook onto the little catch. Now it's all back together, I just need to plug in the OBD2 and reconfigure the injector codes. Now I'm going to have a look at the coding and then change it to the new one for the new injector. Injector, powertrain, display injector, correction factors, enter. Switch the ignition on, press F1. Oh, communication failure, application failed. Damn it. So I tried again and I couldn't get it to work. I tried a few different things and still didn't get it to work. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I'm not sure. I might have to contact iCarSoft, see what the problem is. Anyway, I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear all the fault codes and then just try and start the car. Yep, that seems to work. Rev's alright. And there's no fault codes on the dashboard, as you can see. Oh, there's my battery light come on. I'll have to do something about that. Yeah, revs and ticks over okay, considering I haven't changed the injector code. Alright, it's chucking it down. I'll just test it with the electrical connection disconnected. Yeah, there's a definite difference there when you take it off and put it back on again. So that's all working again. I will get the injector coded and I'll update you on that. I've got to get this car back on the road. I need to repair a broken front spring first. So expect an upcoming video on that in the near future. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.